here we go, guys. We're back to another day. So in the last video, we talked about water-soluble vitamins, specifically B vitamins, C, and zinc. In this video, I'm going to talk about fat-soluble vitamins. I am going to do a video specifically on quercetin and elderberry that's coming up. And I am going to record a video on T cells, B cells, and mast cells and how those affect your immune system. Once I'm done with that, we'll be through kind of the sciencey stuff. So bear with me for the next couple of videos, and I'm going to try and cut all of these today, although they'll play out over the next couple of days. So I'll be in the same clothes. Again, I've been working outside. So first things first, let's talk about fat-soluble vitamins. So particularly today, what I'm going to talk about is vitamins D, A, and K, and some myths about those vitamins, as well as how they relate to your immune system. So vitamin D is technically a hormone. It is something we make. And we make vitamin D by absorbing sunlight throughout the day. And we convert the radiation from that sunlight into a hormone, which is vitamin D. Vitamin D is integral to our immune system, but it does lots of other things. It helps us with sleep and digestion. Roughly 300 or so processes in the body require vitamin D on a daily basis. It's very difficult for us to make the amount of vitamin D that we should be making because of our lifestyle. So if you look at how we were designed to function, we were designed to be outside. We were designed to commune with nature. We were designed to cooperate. We were designed to get our butts outside when the sun came up and not come in until the sun went down. That's not how we live. We wear clothing. Unfortunately, many people wear sunscreen, which they don't understand is actually more harmful than the sun could ever in a million years be. It is not the sun that causes cancer. It is the chemicals and the products you use and the foods that you eat that cause cancer. As a matter of fact, we were just talking about people I know who have skin cancer in places that the sun actually can never touch, it never sees. And that is because of where they live and exposure to pesticides and things. Here in Florida, strawberries are one of our largest crops, and strawberries are one of the most contaminated crops in the United States. And the exposure to the spray over causes skin cancer in many, many people here. And it has nothing to do with exposure to the sun. And that's a whole nother video we could do at another time. But vitamin D is so, so important. And we do so many things that prevent us from getting enough sunlight. We work indoors, we live indoors, we put air conditioning on. The worst thing you can do is be inside a window. So when people tell me they get sun because their arm is next to the window in their car and they spend so much time in their car, what you don't understand is that window actually reflects. So there's UVA and UVB, and you need UVA and UVB at the same time in the same amount. And when you block one or the other, whether that's through sunscreen or through a window, you actually do more damage. That's more dangerous, and the body can't do what it was designed to do because it needs both of those. For all of those reasons, most people, believe it or not, are actually deficient in vitamin D. And even what your doctor thinks is normal, which is somewhere between 30 and 50, is exceptionally low in terms of where optimal lies for us. So the average person's vitamin D level should actually be closer to 80. Somewhere between 70 and 100 is optimal. So most of the time you'll go to your doctor and they'll check for your vitamin levels, and you have to remember that what they're measuring is suboptimal. They're measuring an average of a sick society. So what your doctor says is within normal limits doesn't mean that that's good. In many cases, it actually is bad. And so vitamin D is something that we should be supplementing in many cases, more so depending upon where you live, the climate of the year. And so we have a way to figure out how much you should be taking. Also, vitamin D needs to be combined with cofactors for absorption. So just taking vitamin D by itself is not a good idea. Another mistake that people make is, and I've seen doctors do this, prescribe vitamin D, and they prescribe vitamin D in one 50,000 IU tablet per week. That's a terrible idea. Your body doesn't know that it's supposed to only use a little bit. So what ends up happening is you have a huge surge of D. Your body gets rid of the rest to prevent itself from having D toxicity. And now you aren't using that. And you're certainly not using it adequately. And D2, which used to be prescribed frequently by doctors, and I see some still do it, has been shown to cause cancer. It's not the same as D3, and the body doesn't convert synthetic vitamins. Remember, the body can't convert what's fake into something that's real. So oftentimes when your doctor talks to you about supplementing, unfortunately, they're not educated in how to do that correctly. And I even deal with functional medicine practitioners who have no clue how to adequately teach someone to supplement for their unique situation, their unique health. And that's why we work with so many practitioners around the country to teach them how to do that in a way that is safe, that is customized. Every single person's approach to supplementation should be different. And that's something we're going to talk about a little bit more in the video where we talk about how, when, where, and why, and which kinds. So vitamin D is one of the critical nutrients in terms of antiviral properties. It also helps with prevention as well as treatment of colds, viruses, bacterial infections. There are multiple studies in NIH that show how important vitamin D is, not just against the coronavirus, but influenza, respiratory viruses, immune response, HIV, anything that affects the immune system is going to be affected by vitamin D. Now, vitamin D uses vitamins A and K, the other fat-soluble vitamins, in order to be absorbed properly. It also uses magnesium, something that we are typically very deficient in globally. 95% of the global population cannot get magnesium from their diet. We have raped the soil of magnesium all across the world. And not every kind of magnesium is the same. Again, you have these cheap synthetic versions that don't get absorbed by the body. And so most of the time when you just go piecemealing, trying to figure these things out yourself, you end up wasting a lot of money on things that your body can't even use. So we'll get to how to know what type and how much is right for you. But right now I just want to talk about what they do. Vitamin A, again, is a fat-soluble vitamin, and we've been lied to about vitamin A and told that we can get vitamin A in terms of beta carotene, and then the body can convert beta carotene and other carotenoids into vitamin A. While this happens, it happens at a very inefficient low level. So you would have to eat 5 pounds of carrots every day for the rest of your life in order to have the conversion to the amount of vitamin A you need. I don't know anybody who could eat 5 pounds of carrots every single day. But where do you really get vitamin A? Well, you really get vitamin A from fat, animal fat. This is another reason why animal protein is the single most nutrient-dense food that you can eat. If you're eating beef, pork, chicken, turkey, and you are getting eggs, and you're getting protein plus fat from those sources, that's going to be the best way for you to get A. Things like raw grass-fed butter, Kerrygold, Organic Valley, raw local butter that you pick up is going to be high in A, high in K, high in choline. And again, these things work together. Now, vitamin K, vitamin K2, we talk about a lot in terms of heart health. Very important to the circulatory system, cardiovascular disease, but it's also one of those, that fat-soluble trilogy that works together, D, A, and K. It is known for affecting the immune and inflammatory responses, particularly T cells, which we're going to get into in the next video. Vitamin K actually inhibits cell growth and promotes autophagy. Autophagy is how your body kills off dead cells and rebuilds new healthy cells. Something that we talk about a lot when we talk about fasting, for example. Also, vitamin K2 is known to reduce inflammation and lower inflammatory diseases. K2, by the way, is also very, very helpful in terms of cancer prevention and cancer treatment. And again, we could go on and on and on about the immune system and these things, and I could provide hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of studies for each micronutrient. And we're going to get into how do you make sure you're getting all of these things in the right amounts and the right sources in another video, but I wanted to just touch on what they all do. So that is a quick synopsis of how vitamin D, A, and K work together to help regulate the immune system. Pair those with those water-soluble vitamins and what they're doing behind the scenes, and keep in mind that your body functions as a whole. There isn't just one part that does something. Everything has to be in line with itself, and that's why when we get to, I'm also going to do a video on sleep, because this came to me last night as my children came home from their first day of school, and they were absolutely exhausted because now they're on a new schedule. But food, micronutrition in terms of what you're getting from your food and what you need to supplement, avoiding inflammatory foods and healing the gut, combined with sleep hygiene, stress management, your lifestyle, getting enough sunlight, being well hydrated. All of these things are equally important. It isn't one or the other. But there'll be lots of ways that you find in this video series that you'll be able to boost your own immune strength based on the choices that you make on a daily basis. So I'm going to go ahead and post this one, and we'll be back again to record another.